A good morning. So this is a Herdsman, and this is a brass Herdsman. You might have noticed over the last year or so when I've been doing AL7 versions or maybe even the brass, different types of versions of a same yo-yo, the design is slightly getting tweaked, whereas in the past it was the same design and just a material swap. Most of the time that's going to stay that way for the material swap on a rim because I want the body to stay the same and I just want to change the amount of rim weight. But the Herdsman is a different case for that. Circling back, part of the reason that we can change the design on a material change is just because the machine shops have gotten so good. Where prior, if I wanted to change a design, I wanted it to be the same pretty much in the hand, just play a little different. I'd have to change the design slightly and then re-prototype, and we might run into issues. But if I just switch material, it's going to play differently, be the same shape, and we don't need to run another prototype. Now I can change the design slightly and change the material, and I don't have to re-prototype because just the machines have gotten so good. The machinists are top tier now, and we kind of have everything narrowed in for what needs to happen before the anodizing process. Okay, changes on the brass Herdsman from the regular Herdsman. So I guess the first thing I'm going to tell you here are the specs: 54.9 diameter, 45.85 width, 65.5 grams, 10mm axle, G19 pads, diamond blasted. A couple of the updates there are on the diamond blast. It's slightly updated. We've changed the media size a little bit on that, so you're still getting an incredibly silky, smooth grind. You can't really feel the blast quite as much in the hand. You're getting a lot more silkiness on the finish than you're getting a little bit of, you feel the bead blast on the older diamond blast. So that was updated, and that's been updated pretty much across our lineup. So the weight went up just about a gram with that swap from SS to brass. And this is a small stainless steel rim that you can see here, so just swapping it over wouldn't have necessarily gained us a whole gram. But I do want to discuss how we changed the design here on the rim. So the original was a lot wider on the outside of the rim, and if you bumped the side of the yo-yo, you could feel that stainless steel. I wanted to adjust that when we went over to the brass version. So the brass version, if you look at it cup side, looks like a much smaller rim. But when you turn it to the inside and look at the cup and the depth, it's a lot wider. So that's where we gained a little bit of size and a little bit extra weight on the swap from stainless steel to brass. So it's not just a weight change because of the rim swap, but it's a slight weight change because of the design change on the rim piece that was being inserted for the second material. Overall, could not be happier with the way that the brass one came out. If you like that U shape in a yo-yo, yeah, I know. I hate letters. That is not a V, that is not an O, that is not a W, it's not even really quite a U or an H. It's mostly U shape is what I'm going to call it. So it's a big concave half circle with some nice rounded rims. If you like that style shape, I think that you will not find a better yo-yo out there with that shape than the brass Herdsman. I think the weighting increase on the rims made it fantastic. You don't notice the weighting difference in the hand, but once you get it on the string, you are getting an excess of stability and spin time. The stainless steel version is a little more agile and quick to adjust movements, but the brass version is no slouch at that. It's still very agile, very quick to adjust movements. It just added just that little bit of weight and overall continued to give it some extra spin, some extra stability. And I don't have a whole lot else to say about it. Just wanted to update it for history purposes. It is just a phenomenal yo-yo. If you find one on the BST, I would definitely scoop it up. It was a Patreon exclusive, so it's not going to hit the store. So there's what's out there is pretty much out there. Every once in a while we add another color for the members over there on Patreon and let them scoop them up if they want, but no current plans for that as these just came out and are just hitting players' hands. So that's the brass Herdsman. Hope you enjoyed it.